Like many of you, I've been following the downfall of bricks and minifigs in real time, but I've been listening to all the details with this right here. This is the weirdest chair accessory I have ever seen. Ahnest Headrest released this wireless speaker and mic combo that snaps into the back of their Herman Miller Aeron headrest. As you can see here, it also has an attachable external mic. Ahnest Headrest says you can use this speaker for an immersive audio experience since it's right next to your ears. You can also use it for phone calls and conference calls, but they say it goes further. You can even use it for whisper coding if you're into that, and you can even use this speaker as the rear channel in your surround sound setup. If you have no idea what the words are that are coming out of my mouth, you're racist.
Don't nobody understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, man.
In all seriousness, if you're uninitiated in the chair world, aka perfectly normal, let me give you a quick explainer. The Herman Miller Aeron chair is the most popular chair in the world with over 9 million sold, and it also has a permanent exhibit in the Museum of Modern Art. To this day, my video on how to buy a used Aeron for cheap has the most views on my channel, closing in at 1.5 million views. This chair is a tank, and I personally love it because it was one of the first chairs that I discovered that helped with my back pain. It also has what I think is the best tuned mesh of all mesh chairs in existence. But it's not perfect. You see, the Herman Miller Aeron wasn't great at giving head support, not the other thing. A company called Ahnest Headrest said, we're gonna make this chair give great head support, and we're gonna make a headrest worthy of the Aeron. So they made this thing that is not only super functional, but also looks like it's OEM because it's using the same plastics, the same colors, and the same mesh material. And now they released this speaker attachment for their headrest. Is it any good and who's it for? Let's get honest. Whether you're a baller and bought your Aeron new or more frugal and bought a used Aeron, everyone can benefit from today's sponsor, Monarch. Monarch is the best financial planning app I have ever used. Monarch isn't just a budgeting app. It can link to over 13,000 financial institutions, including banks, credit cards, mortgages, auto loans, all of it. Monarch will then take all that data, look at your income, your expenses, and auto set you up a budget, which you can then fine tune according to your goals. Now, because I've linked everything inside of Monarch, I can see my net worth, and I'm a bit of an impulse shopper, but seeing my net worth grow over time has really helped me curb my spending to say, man, am I really gonna buy this thing and take a few steps backwards when I've worked so hard to get my net worth here? And it's been really great for me. Proof that I am growing in financial literacy and self-control is when I asked Monarch's AI, what is my biggest single category of expense in 2026? It said investments. Yeah, baby. With a single membership, my wife is also able to see the same stuff I do. Same UI, same clean dashboards, everything, and we can both make sure that we're progressing toward our financial goals. Monarch won't sell your data and it's completely ad-free. If you're thinking about getting your finances on track, check out the link in the description or scan the QR code for your free trial, and you'll also get 50% off your first year. Seriously, I'm a huge fan of Monarch. Thanks for sponsoring the video, guys. As always, links to everything will be in the description below. Using them costs you nothing, but I earn a commission, which helps keep this channel going. Now, let's start with the installation of this thing. This thing installs so easily that even a dum-dum like me could do it. Basically, there are two small clips at the bottom, and you just make sure that they kind of hinge on this bracket inside here. And once you know it's kind of hitting on there, you just push it up, and voila, that's it. If you're worried that you might feel the plastic through the mesh headrest, don't, because I put a lot of tension on this, both with my head and my fingers, and you cannot feel the plastic at all. This speaker is like the town bicycle. Everybody gets a ride, as long as you have Bluetooth, because this is running the latest, greatest Bluetooth 5.3. What this means is that you can connect it to multiple sources, and if you pause the audio on one source and then play audio on a different source, it'll automatically switch over, which is mwah.
They said, let's get on. This video took a ton of time to put together.
If you want the lowest latency possible, it also runs using aptX using this dongle right here. Dongle, what a funny word. This dongle is compatible only with Mac, PC, Xbox, and PS5s. I tested the latency both with Bluetooth and the dongle, and on both, I got a latency of 5 milliseconds, which is excellent. But this dongle does have a limitation, which we'll talk about later. Dongle. Instead of boring you with all the individual buttons and, telling you it can play, pause, next track, and all that stuff, I'm gonna post a picture which you guys can see, figure it out yourselves. Basically, all you need to know is that you can use this with a phone and never have to touch the phone to control all audio features. If you're really quiet, these speakers whisper something. Hype, like, subscribe. Wow, that was really crazy. You should definitely do it though. In all seriousness, you have stereo speakers here with passive radiators, and they offer up to 3 watts max per channel. The biggest advantage of having the speaker so close to your ears is that it's going to create a much more immersive feel without losing the ability to hear people and things around you. Now, even if you listen into the lowest volumes, it still sounds like the audio is like right next to you. But how do these speakers sound? Honestly, they perform better than I thought they would. The best way I can put it is that these speakers sound just a cut above a modern MacBook Pro speakers. And that is saying quite a bit because I think the MacBook Pro 14 and 16-inch speakers are the best laptop speakers on the market. Generally speaking, the mids and highs on the speakers sound incredible. They sound super crisp, really clear. One time I was listening to a YouTube video and I walked about 25 feet away and I could hear it clear as day. And my editor and I both called each other, took turns sitting, listening to the other person talking on the phone, and we could hear them super duper crisp.
Hey Dan, this is John calling. I am in another room. We're testing the audio on that cool new accessory in your headset.
Where the speaker struggles though is the bass. Like any speaker of its size and form factor without a dedicated subwoofer, this bass is present, but it's not anything that I could call good. A big selling point of this is that because the speakers are right next to your ears, the audio is not going to leak. You can listen to it in private, but also still be aware of your surroundings. And so we wanted to see how much did audio leak from these speakers. Unfortunately, if you listen to any type of music, especially high energy, high BPM songs, these speakers leak quite a bit. The bare minimum volume level, in my personal opinion, to make the speakers sound full was 75% on the quiet mode. And on that mode from 25 feet away, I could almost make out the lyrics on a high energy BPM song. And when we listen to something a little bit more mellow, what is it called? Alicia Keys, what's that song called?
Some people want it all.
I don't know the song, but it goes like,
If I ain't got you.
basically, I could sing along with that chorus at 25 feet away. Sorry, I'm blanking. I don't remember the song's name. If you're listening to a podcast, you can drop the volume to about 50% in the quiet mode, and at that volume, at 25 feet away, I could hear that someone was listening to something, but I couldn't make out the words. So we're about 25 feet away from John and the headrest right now. Can you hear the audio clearly?
Yeah.
Can you hear the lyric, like what Eminem is actually rapping, like the words themselves?
Yeah.
This speaker has a built-in mic, but this external mic, it doesn't get in the way of anything, and it just makes the microphone experience significantly better. So I didn't even bother testing it with the built-in and just tested it with the external mic. Atlas Headrest says that this microphone is sensitive enough for you to whisper code. So we opened up ChatGPT and tested the speak to ChatGPT mode, and sure enough, it was phenomenal. We whispered both when our head was making contact with the headrest. Explain to me what whisper coding means.
Whisper coding usually refers to recognizing or processing whispered speech.
And even when we were leaned up towards the screen with our head not on the headrest anymore, and it picked up our whispers beautifully. I want to drive to France. Is it possible from Pennsylvania?
Driving all the way to France from Pennsylvania would be twice the adventure, except there's that little detail of the Atlantic Ocean.
When it comes to phone calls, this microphone is clear, but not anything mind-blowing. I called my editor, and when I was talking to him, he said that, hey, the microphone does a good job both when I'm talking full volume like this, and also when I'm talking a little bit more like this. If I was just in the office just talking, he said that he could hear me well both when my head was rested on the headrest and when I was moved up forward a little bit towards my screen. This is what it sounds like with my head on the headrest at full volume. This is what it sounds like with my head on the headrest at half volume. This is what it sounds like with my head off the headrest at full volume. This is what it sounds like with my head off the headrest at half volume. One limitation that these speakers and mic combination has is the same thing that every Bluetooth speaker and mic combination has. And that is that if you try to talk in Discord or game with it, and you try to use it both as a speaker and a mic, then unfortunately it uses the lower audio quality mode and the speakers sound god awful while the microphone sounds fine. The only way to get around this is that you either have to use only the speakers or only the mic, not both. Remember earlier I said how the dongle has another feature but also a major limitation? Well, if you use the dongle on PC, Atlas Headrest has actually developed an app. It's a lightweight app, and it allows you to set your speakers as the rear channel speakers in a surround sound setup. As I said in my sponsor segment, I've cut down on spending, so I don't have a crazy audio setup here, but I was still able to use my monitor speakers as the front channels and these speakers as the rear channels. It works really well, but I was bummed to hear that it would only work as rear channel speakers if whatever you're watching or playing has hard-coded surround sound. So things like YouTube and Spotify, they do not have hard-coded surround sound, so it wouldn't work for applications like that. The major limitation of this app is that it only works with PC. Atlas Headrest claims that you'll get 60 hours of battery life using this thing, and one quirk that I found is that if you use this speaker with the Bluetooth dongle, for some reason it won't auto power down, but if you use it just with Bluetooth, then it will auto power down. To charge the speakers, they came up with a brilliant solution. This is a magnetic charging cable, and you just pop it in just like that. This is so smart because people are turning the chair all the time, and it'll just snap out like that instead of destroying something. But you can also charge it with a standard USB-C. You just pop out the external mic and plug it in right there. This speaker comes with everything included, and it costs $150, and you get a 1-year warranty. If you don't have a headrest, then you can actually buy a headrest and speaker combo. I don't think you get a discount for the combo set, but I will have a coupon code down below. Again, if you use that coupon code in my link, I do earn a commission, which helps this channel a lot. It helps put food in this little kid's mouth. I'm totally guilting you guys. Is it working? Is it working? Final thoughts. I was really skeptical about this thing. I've been told Atlas Headrest, I was like, I don't really know if there's a market for this, but the more I test it, the more I find genuine use cases for it. So for example, I actually sold my really nice Sennheiser headphones and I picked this up instead. Again, just trying to make things more practical. This is not as good of headphones, but it has a built-in mic, so when I play games and stuff, I can have that. But if I knew and had this, I would have kept my nicer headphones and just used this mic in my games. Now, I know that ModMic has a wireless mic, but it's honestly chunky and it just kind of ruins the aesthetic of your headphones because you have to like attach it to the headphone, and I didn't love it, especially because they were open back headphones. So had I known this existed, I would have just kept those headphones. Also, if I'm just doing something casual like watching YouTube videos or playing a really casual game, I hate putting headphones on and creating that flat spot in my hair. And so being able to use these speakers is really great. Yes, there is audio leaking, but it's not nearly as bad as turning the speakers on from my monitor because I'm so far away from my monitor that in order to hear things, I have to crank the volume up. And at that point, the audio leak is significantly worse and everybody in my house can hear if things are said, like naughty words, like dongle. But let's be real. This is a niche product inside of a niche product inside of a niche product. Like, it is a really niche product and it's pricey. But if you're a whisper coder or you're somebody who loves the audio experience, you love listening to things with, surround sound setup, then this thing could be worth its weight in gold. I'd love to know what you guys think. Until next time, stay honest.